The Empire's finest sword princess wanted to teach the boy swordsmanship, but he refused on the spot. I don't want guidance from someone weaker than me. With just a casual swing of his sword, he easily broke through the princess's proud aura defense. What he didn't know was, the boy was Kyle, the hero who saved the world 5,000 years ago. However, for certain reasons, nothing about him was recorded in the history that was passed down. 5,000 years ago, the world was on the brink of destruction. To combat the primordial evil, the 4 heroes of Airpos stepped forward. But because Airpos was so powerful, everyone ultimately perished. So the people pinned their hopes on the last hero remaining. As the demon heart absorbed all the magical power, in the next instant, a tremendous surge of magical power erupted from the man's body, and he didn't hesitate to burn his own body to do it. Airpos, I will tear your soul apart. This person was Kyle, known as the hero of beginning. Ultimately, he defeated Airpos at the cost of his own life. Now, he has been reborn into the world 5,000 years later, only to discover that in the 5,000-year-old history that has been passed down, he has become the only one erased from existence. The scene changes. Time fast forwards 15 years later. At this moment, the teacher loudly announces that Royal Dran Academy has been selected as the testing venue for the Lumel entrance exam this year. I believe some of you will be written into the hero records. Just then, the teacher noticed Leo, who was dozing off. Student Leo, I'll assume you know all the material, so let me ask you, what ritual must be performed to be called a hero 5,000 years ago? Leo thought that as long as you became famous, people would love you. But the teacher was not satisfied with his answer. Just then, a red-haired boy raised his hand and began to speak. In ancient times, there was no method to gain divine approval, so people would go through sacred rituals to be chosen. The most representative of these was the blood ritual. That is a good answer. Our kingdom's greatest magic prodigy, Griffin Telland. At this moment, he slowly turned to Leo and said, I look forward to your results on the entrance exam. At this moment, Leo fell into deep thought. Back then, encountering gods was a commonplace thing. What sacred rituals? That was merely to praise the heroes who fought against Airpos and to create the heroic records. But why was I specifically erased from existence? At this moment, everyone's attention was drawn by a commotion nearby. Look, it is the Geldinger family. It is Celia Geldinger. Then, a broadcast announcement rang out in the classroom, because members of the Geldinger family will be visiting the school. Please, all students go to the auditorium. However, Leo had no interest in any of this, and he immediately turned around and left. The scene changes, and Leo has just finished his training. While diligent training was a factor, I must say, this life's body is much better than the previous one. Just then, his mother suddenly launched an attack at him, so he immediately raised his sword to block. You haven't trained with the sword in a while, have you? With mediocre skills, you won't be able to enter Lumel. This is the final test, Leo. In the next instant, both sides engaged in combat. Shall I intensify my attacks? Hearing this, Leo immediately swung his sword and drove her back. Mother, isn't your training method too intense? Are you kidding? You blocked every single one of them. In the next instant, he suddenly unleashed a thrust. Crap, I went too hard. Just as he thought Leo had been struck, Leo sidestepped to dodge it, then instantly thrust back. Mother? With that, the fight finally came to an end. His mother was utterly shocked. This child's talent is simply too extraordinary. But Leo, are you still determined to go to Lumel? Lumel, the Human Hero Academy, is the academy that holds the most complete records of hero information from all 4 races, and it is also the most likely place to preserve my records. Of course, I've already made my decision. At that moment, his mother suddenly mentioned that the Geldinger family would be staying at their estate. Though somewhat reluctant, I will ask the vice head, G.S. Geldinger, to teach you the family techniques. Then you'll certainly grow strong enough to enter Lumel by next year. But mother, I'm planning to enter this year. The scene changes, and the Geldinger family has arrived at the Prof estate. Celia was quite puzzled, asking why they had to come to such a minor family. Aren't you curious about that boy, Leo? If he is someone who can't even control his mana, then he shouldn't be anything special. I don't think so. A moment later, the father and mother graciously hosted the 2 guests. Celia began to introduce herself. I am Celia Geldinger. I'll be relying on you all for this week. She suddenly noticed that the Marchioness Prof looked a lot like her father, black hair, red eyes. Could she be a member of the family? Yes, Lena is indeed your aunt. The scene changes, and Jace is now conversing with his mother. We visited the academy earlier, but Leo said he wasn't interested in us and went home. He really doesn't give the Geldinger family any respect at all. If he made you feel unhappy, then I'll apologize on his behalf. After all, he has no interest in anything other than training. GS was quite curious. What kind of boy is Leo? Exactly. His talent is so overwhelmingly powerful that it is hard to believe. Sister, do you really think? Does Leo qualify to inherit the Geldinger family's flame? Of course. But not because he is my son. He completely possesses the qualifications. Since my sister has said so, I can't help but look forward to it as well. But I need to personally test the child's abilities. Leo is now sitting in meditation at the training ground. Finally complete, a vessel that can contain all things. The reason I haven't practiced TI is that the moment I receive Chi, my body naturally becomes accustomed to it, which would cause me to lose the opportunity to accumulate mana and spiritual power. In my previous life, if I had been able to perfectly master those guys, mana and Chi, I wouldn't have left behind the seeds of disaster. In this life, I will learn how to control them. I'll start with Chi first. Just then, a figure appeared before me. So you are Leo, Prof. Your fundamentals are quite solid. Let me give you some special swordsmanship guidance. Who are you? I am Celia Geldinger. People call me the Sword Princess. I see, but I certainly don't want someone weaker than me teaching me swordsmanship. Are you saying you're stronger than me right now? In a life and death battle, you might be stronger than me. Because I don't use aura, but if it comes to swordsmanship, that is a different matter. Hearing this, Celia immediately drew a long sword from behind her back. Since you're so confident, then let's spar. Do you think mastering aura makes you stronger than me? I'll let you see the harsh reality. If I win for the whole week you stay here, you'll be my servant. Conversely, if I lose, then I'll be your servant. Let's begin. In the next instant, Leo suddenly launched an attack at her. I didn't expect your speed to be quite fast, but relying on only that won't be enough. Meanwhile, Leo swung down a heavy blow with tremendous force, a powerful strike that even Celia couldn't withstand. She hadn't even reacted in time. At that moment, Leo had already delivered a thrust. Seeing this, Celia immediately used her aura to defend. Didn't we agree to a simple swordsmanship contest? Using aura, what is going on? I will still win. The difference in whether you can control aura is the difference between heaven and earth. At that moment, Leo slowly removed his gravity magic wristband. In the next instant, an even more powerful slash descended instantly, shattering Celia's aura defense on the spot. Damn it, this guy is simply too strong.